My chest nearly stopped when I read the message meant for my wife's lover. The words froze me cold. Asterisk let's meet at your place this Thursday when your fool is out of town. Can't wait to hold you on the back of your couch. Asterisk. I couldn't believe it. My head lagged in processing, but my instincts already recognized the truth. Had just stepped in from a draining day at work. Set my bag down, loosened my tie, poured a drink, and then noticed her phone on the kitchen counter. It was open, odd since she usually guarded it fiercely. I wasn't the type to pry, but this time I couldn't resist. The screen glowed with a new message from a name I didn't know. I told myself not to look, but I did. Each word hit me like a punch, followed by pictures, jokes, and secret plans, all mocking me. They called me asterisk captain. Boring. Asterisk laughed at my blindness and plotted their meeting on Thursday, the same day I was meant to fly out for a business pitch. But she didn't realize I had already cancelled that trip earlier that morning. She didn't know I was staying home. That left me with 72 hours to unravel the lie built over years. I didn't lash out. I didn't smash the phone or confront her. I just sat there, absorbing the betrayal, letting its weight settle into me. I set my glass down in the sink and loaded my Glock. Not because I wanted to harm anyone, but 'cause I had another plan. This wasn't going to be a rash outburst. It would be precise, deliberate. I didn't sleep that night, not from sorrow but from strategizing. If they wanted my house, my marriage, my life, they would have it. But not in the way they imagined. Step 1: logistics. She assumed I was leaving Thursday. I told her instead I'd be gone Wednesday night for a sudden client dinner. She kissed me goodbye, unaware I had cancelled the flight. The next day I booked a hotel under a false name, bought hidden cameras, and wired mics through every room, living room, kitchen, bedroom. Every angle was covered. If she wanted our home to be her stage, I would control the show. I even swapped the couch cushions with duplicates, each one holding recorders inside. That Wednesday I left the house. As expected, I carried a duffel, loaded my car, and drove off, but only a short distance. I parked nearby, slipped into the alley, and entered through the basement. The crawl space was tight, but gave me access beneath the floors. There I waited with a blanket, a bottle of water, and the Glock by my side. Not to kill, but to ensure control. Thursday at 6:48 I heard them. Laughter. Her voice so familiar. His smug tone. The same I had seen in her videos. The lover was no stranger. He was one of those work friends she once mentioned. I heard his belt drop, his steps moving closer. My hand gripped the Glock, but I held still, letting them dig their own grave. I rose quietly through the trap door, hiding behind the bookcase. They were too lost in each other to hear me. From the hallway shadows I watched as she wrapped her legs around him, both too blind to notice me. I stepped forward and flicked the living room lights on. Blap, blap, blap. Bravo, I said, voice cold. Asterisk, what a performance. Asterisk, they froze. He scrambled to cover himself. She screamed, eyes wide with terror. Asterisk, what are you doing here? Asterisk. I didn't flinch. I pulled the gun from my waistband. Asterisk, you mean this house I pay for? This couch you've turned into your stage? Asterisk. The boyfriend raised his hands, stammering. Hey man, let's not do anything stupid. I'm not stupid, I said. I stepped closer. Asterisk, but you're not leaving this house until we've had a little talk. Asterisk. The room was frozen in silence, broken only by their uneven breaths. She clutched a blanket around herself while he sat at the couch's edge, pale and trembling. The gun wasn't aimed at either of them. but its presence said enough. All right, I began, voice steady but firm. Here's how this goes. I nodded at him, are going to tell me everything. The tension was sharp, every word cutting through the stillness. He swallowed hard, hands shaking while she whispered through fear. Please don't. I cut her off, voice snapping. No. Darling, you don't get to shrink now. Not after slipping your underwear into his jacket pocket like some bargain film trope. He blinked, then muttered, barely audible. 6 months. It started after your company's New Year's party. I nodded, letting the confession hang. And where else? Pressed. Hotel on 9th. Once in your guest room. Her office twice, he admitted, words dragging heavy with guilt. She buried her face in her hands, shoulders trembling. Shame or the realization she'd lost all control. Keep going, I ordered flatly. He glanced at her, but she wouldn't meet his eyes. She said you were cold, that you worked too much, that she felt invisible, and you thought the solution was to crawl into my bed while I paid for this roof. I said sharply. I didn't plan it, he stammered. Stop talking, I snapped. You're not good at it. I pulled a remote from my pocket and pressed a button. The TV flickered on, split into 4 views: living room, kitchen, bedroom, hallway. Every sound, every angle. She gasped, horrified. You recorded us. No, I replied coldly. I recorded you. You staged it. I just gave it proper coverage. Her face went white. She lunged, panicked. You can't. That's illegal. You can't use that against me. I smiled, cold, deliberate. Oh, sweetheart. I don't need it in court. I only need it to exist. And it exists in several places now. I shifted, resting the gun on my lap. Voice calm. Here's what's going to happen. I pointed at her. Tomorrow you'll sign the divorce papers. No contest, no alimony. I keep the house. Then at him. You'll pay for damages. My broken dignity and destroyed couch. Don't come cheap. And then you vanish. No calls, no surprises. 'Cause if either of you test me again. I didn't finish. I simply glanced at the gun. That was enough. The next morning she signed the papers. Without a word. No demands, no protest. The boyfriend wired the money within 48 hours with extra for humiliation. But it was never about money. It was about truth. Exposure. I didn't leak the footage online. That would have been reckless. But I sent stills to her boss with a polite note. Thought. You should know how your HR director spends company time. 2 days later she was fired. Quietly. No reason given. He, on the other hand, had a fiancé. Past tense. Made sure she received the videos and texts I'd pulled from her phone. The fallout was brutal. They tried to cling to each other out of shared ruin. But it didn't last. When the shame caught up and the money dried out, it all collapsed. Last I heard, he was tending bar at. She'd moved in with her sister. Social media wiped clean. No fake smiles. No curated life. Just silence. As for me, thrive. Sold the house. Moved across the country. New job, new apartment, new city. No baggage, no lies. When I think back to that night, her legs around another man on my couch, I don't feel rage, just clarity. Some people deserve destruction. Simply handed them the match. The noise dragged on for months. Block, numbers, emails, cryptic posts, all meant for me twisting the story. People. Mistakes happen. No one's perfect. Not even him. But I stayed silent. I didn't owe them forgiveness. I owed myself peace. And that's what I kept. 1 year later, I crossed paths with her. In a grocery store, different city. Looked older, not in age but in the toll of regret. Tired eyes, restless hands. The shine gone. Hey, she said softly. You look good. He nodded. I know. She tried to smile but it faltered. I've changed. Things are different now. The words floated, meaningless. I didn't care who she was today. Only cared who she was when it mattered. I hope you're well, I said flatly. But I don't miss you. And then I walked away. The true revenge wasn't the footage or the money or the job she lost. It wasn't even the public shame. It was knowing that every couch they sit on, every glance they share, every quiet moment when they think they've moved on, they'll remember me. The man who smiled turned his back and left them choking on the ashes of the life they thought they'd burned.